This video, I'm going to be telling you how to use Vlookup, which is a very, very useful Excel formula. What it's used for is for matching up two different tables of data. So we've got in here, as in my example, I've got a table which has the order number, and then what we want to do is find the service and the tracking number from this table here. So we've got, in this table, we've got a full table of data, order number, service, tracking number, and in this table over here, we've got the order number, and we want to match the tracking number from this table. And we're going to use Vlookup to do it. So I've done the first row here, and if the second cell, I can show you we've got Vlookup, and then the first attribute here is what we're looking up, and that is this A3 cell here. And then we've got the array, and that is E to G, that's E, F, G there. And then the next bit it shows us is we want to take the third column. So what that's saying is it looks up from the third column. It looks up the first column and then returns the second, third column. And then false just means that it's an exact match. So you can see here that it's 101 and it's returned. We've got the same thing in here. So it's returned standard here. So it's looked up one here and it's returned standard. And then the second column, it's looked up 101, it's returned the third column, it's got this tracking number, which is 100125. So if we copy these details down, we can see two things going on here. One is in this second column here, it's got NA, and that's when it doesn't find a match, because that 102 is not in this list, so it's throwing up an error. Now the way to get around that is to use a second formula, and what we say here is if, and the is error means does it return this NA, and if it does, it's saying okay, insert into that cell nothing, that's just that, and then else, if it does find something, then it returns the value of the formula. So that gets around this issue of returning these errors. Now there's a few things you need to watch out with Vlookup. The first one is the classic of numbers as text and numbers as numbers. So a number can be a number, and that's right justified number, or it can be as a text. So that means that Excel treats it as text. Numbers are right justified and text is left justified. So I've got the text of these here. And if I cut and paste that in, and I do paste values, you can see that now nothing matches, because this is text. You can see by that little green thing there, and also it's left justified. And these are numbers, so even though they look the same, they're not the same. Now if I do Control Z, it'll go back to working again. Second thing is relative and absolute arrays. So when we did this, you can see that it's EG, so we selected all the columns, and that's column E to column G. Now we could have done it differently. We could have, just delete that, we could have just selected just the bit we want. So you can see it's E23 to G24. Now if we copy that down, you can see it stopped working. Now that's because if we look down, you can see it starts to go up. So it's E4, G25, E5, G26. So the array is moving. Now we can get around that by, if we select it and press F4, it'll put $signs around it, and that makes it absolute. So as we copy it down, it's back again now, but you can see if we select one of these, it's still E3, G24. As we've copied it down, it hasn't actually changed. Finally, the reference numbers must be the leftmost column. So for this to work, the reference number must be the leftmost column of this table and the leftmost column of this table as well. It's not going to work if it's in a different column.